track review.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Kendrick Lamar single, Blacker the Berry. New single, new track, Kendrick Lamar, Top Dawg Entertainment member, Black Hippie cohort, has a few fantastic projects under his belt already. He has been teasing toward the release of a new album for a while now. He dropped a new single last year called I. Didn't really care for it that much. It wasn't that bad though. And he is currently hot off a few Grammy wins for Best Rap Song for that I track and Best Rap Performance. And I haven't really heard that much commotion over Kendrick winning these two nominations, even though I do think it should have happened. So, I mean, you know, I guess there's really no reason for anyone to talk shit, even though this song really is Kendrick's least hip-hop track so far. There's a huge pop music influence, a lot of sung vocals, a bit of like a soul music playing in the background. It's as if I'm hearing a soul or funk instrumental, and Kendrick is rapping over it as well as singing over it a lot of the time. Really, there were other discussion topics that night. Sam Smith just clean the floor. Schoolboy Q, I think, should have won over Eminem for Hip Hop Album of the Year. Iggy Azalea just was snubbed left and right. And St. Vincent won in the alternative category. That's awesome. Then we had Kanye West's completely idiotic comments on Beck's new album and how he won over Beyonce. Personally, even I preferred Beyonce's record over Beck's last album, which I thought was a little drab, but to insinuate that a real artist didn't get an award that night or a real artist needed to be awarded was just completely off base. Beck is every bit as much the artist that Beyonce is. Considering the fact that he is a singer, a rapper, producer, performer, multi-instrumentalist, and songwriter, I think he's earned that tag. And he was making hit after hit after hit before Beyonce was singing Say My Name, before Kanye West was even rapping Through the Wire. Even if saying Beck is not an artist or an inferior artist wasn't what Kanye meant, the wording he used couldn't have led you to any other conclusion. It's just another instance of him talking before he thinks. Just like the song 4 or 5 Seconds is Kanye collaborating before he thinks. Moving on to someone who actually does think before he opens his mouth, which is why his lyrics are so interesting, Kendrick Lamar with this The Blacker the Berry single. Consistently, I have loved Kendrick's music for his passionate flow, his energetic delivery, the timely subject matters he employs in his songs. He's one of the biggest rappers out there that, in my opinion, is really in touch with what's going on socially, at least with what he expresses in his music, because, you know, these days that could really be a risk. There are a lot of people who are looking for music, that are looking for entertainment, that is just kind of a source of escapism. And there are plenty of artists out there that are happy to provide that, and that's fine. But Kendrick is an artist who makes music that I find entertaining, that I think is enjoyable, but he also dishes out lots of just very hard truths. He really seems to give a shit about what he's saying, and I think this new song here is going to be a pretty jagged pill for some people to swallow. Though the beat does help from Boy Wonder. The instrumental on this thing is great. It's just a straight up boom bap beat. The melody that Kendrick is singing with the layered vocals on this track kind of feels just inspired by like some old 90s West Coast shit. I love the wailing, harmonized guitar samples in the instrumental here, and just how some of the vocals come together on this track. They just feel so grand and just huge and epic. This song is just monstrous. And that's just the sound of it. When it comes to the lyrics, I think this track is monstrous as well. Kendrick is mad on this track. Not just angry, but I think he goes kind of insane. He's ferocious here. And I think what he's doing on this song is really just a reflection of a lot of the racial tensions that boiled over last year, over Tamir Rice, as well as Trayvon Martin, and Mike Brown, and Eric Garner. Just like on Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick seems to be portraying the mindset of just a really angry, young, black youth trying to navigate and make sense of all of this injustice that he's faced with. There's a lot to unpack in the lyrics here. It's just a seriously dense track. And I think the way Kendrick portrays this person, because I don't think he's just rapping from his own standpoint, the way Kendrick portrays this person, it's just it's really like he just makes this person come to life. And I think part of the reason that is because he's also angry about the same things this individual is. You know, he's fed up with the violence. He's fed up with the injustice as well. But think about the way he kicks off a lot of these verses. He says, "I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015." And though this person's anger may be justified in terms of seeing police abuse their power, on the flip side, Kendrick also points out that these same angry individuals may be completely unfazed by violence in their own community or just black on black violence in general, which, as stated in previous interviews, Kendrick sees as kind of a hypocrisy of sorts. There's even a moment here where he likens African tribal wars to Pyrus and Crips going at it. And while Kendrick makes a really fair point here, he doesn't get too preachy. He doesn't really tell the listener what to think necessarily. I think he gives this track nuance by really giving the character like I guess a personality dynamic. This systemic racism that this person is observing is given so much weight, and it's so intense and it's so in his face, he can't really focus on much of anything else. I get the sense this person feels backed into a corner, and as a result is sort of embracing these usually negative racial stereotypes, either out of complete spite for the people who hate him, the people who he feels want to destroy him and his culture, or maybe he's embracing them out of solidarity. So really the song is a projection of all the pent-up anger Kendrick has had in reaction to seeing people pissed off about some violence and then just being completely apathetic toward violence when it's just in a different scenario. And this song is just advocating non-violence all around. So I do enjoy the meaning of this track, the philosophy behind this track, but the really awesome guest vocals, as well as the very atmospheric, jazzy outro and the very colorful, hard-hitting, just mean as hell beat on this thing are fantastic as well, and are just, you know, the well put together bells and whistles that make this message so enjoyable and fantastic to experience. I think Kendrick is, you know, just on a creative streak here. Again, not really a huge fan of the song I, but as I said in that review, I'm looking forward to hearing that song as well as this track over here in the context of Kendrick's new record, and given the fact that his albums do usually have a long, overarching conceptual theme to them, you know, these songs could have new meaning, new impact, and who knows what else. So, loving this track, fantastic song. Thank you for watching. Transition! If you've given this song a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Kendrick Lamar, The Blacker the Berry, forever.